I am Shadow, and this verdict has never been heard. What you are about to learn was buried, hidden from the public, kept in the shadows. Listen carefully, because Shadow does not repeat himself. On December 6, 1991, at 11:43 p.m., the neon sign of a small yogurt shop flickered in the Texas night. Inside, the sweet scent of vanilla and strawberries hung heavily in the air, a stark contrast to the chilling reality unfolding just moments away. Four young women, full of life, were about to become victims in a crime that would haunt a community for decades. But who could commit such atrocities in a place so filled with laughter and youthful dreams? The victims, Jennifer, Sarah, Eliza, and Amy, were not just names in a tragic story. Picture Jennifer, with her fiery spirit, always the first to organize a late-night ice cream run after school. Imagine Sarah, the quiet artist, sketching in her notebook while the world buzzed around her. Think about Eliza, who would often bake cookies for her friends in her mother's kitchen. Amy, the athletic one, whose laughter echoed like a favorite song. They were bright stars in their small town, filled with plans and ambitions, each moment of their lives woven together by the bonds of friendship. But what the reports never mentioned was that the evening began with an innocent decision, a simple trip to the yogurt shop after a long day of school. As they walked through the door, the warmth enveloped them, blissfully unaware of the storm brewing just outside. The details of that evening would unravel into a tangle of confusion and terror. But who was lurking in the shadows, and why were these young women chosen? On that fateful night, a quiet hum of the shop's machines buzzed in the background as the girls giggled and shared their secrets over scoops of frosty treats. But suddenly, silence descended. No one heard the struggle, the chaos that followed, the muffled screams that would echo through that shop forever. Think about what that means. Really think about it. The investigation that followed was riddled with leads that turned cold, like a forgotten dessert left too long. Eyewitnesses claimed to have seen a mysterious figure, a suspect whose identity remained shrouded in mystery. But that detail would only make sense later, as the years rolled on and the case grew colder. As the investigation unfolded, shocking revelations began to emerge. With each new update, the haunting specter of unsolved mysteries lingered in the air. The police were left grappling with a web of false leads and potential suspects, their hopes dashed time and time again. But could the perpetrator have been someone known to the victims? Or perhaps a stranger passing through? The minds of investigators churned with questions, but who were they truly dealing with? Then, years later, something changed. News broke that a suspect had been arrested. J.A. was brought into the spotlight, and the pieces of the puzzle began to fit together. Evidence long thought lost resurfaced, igniting hope in a case that had been smothered in shadows. But the truth was still elusive, lurking just out of reach, waiting for the courtroom to reveal its secrets. Those impacted by the tragedy have had to carry their grief in silence. Families shattered but resilient, they have sought justice in the faces of new generations. The community continues to heal, yet the past lingers like a ghost. The final revelation might be just around the corner. It remains to be seen who will ultimately pay the price for these unspeakable acts. The trial is ongoing. One detail remains unexplained, and it could change everything. As the courtroom awaits the final verdict, we are left with lingering questions about justice and the human psyche. But who do you think is truly guilty? Type guilty to leave your verdict below. Shadow reads every comment. I will return with the answer. The shadows know more than you think. Leave your verdict in the comments. And if you think you know the truth, Shadow will return with the answer.